The action is the main part of a lesson during which students use critical and creative thinking and mathematical reasoning to solve problems.
You are going to be working with repeating patterns today. You are going to be choosing 2 of these repeating patterns. To me, it does not matter which 2 you pick. You are able to choose whatever ones float your boat. So we've got this one with sunflowers that go 4, 5, 8, 4, 5, 8, 4, 5, 8. We've got the fish one that goes 3, 1, 7, 4, 3, 1, 7, 4, 3, 1. We've got pattern C that has some pictures. So we've got a rhombus, and a triangle. But they've kind of been turned certain ways or rotated certain ways. I know you guys have talked about rotations because I've heard you through the wall a few times. And then we've got our trapezoid here. Again, that's rotating or reflecting certain ways. So, doesn't matter which pattern you pick, you need to predict what the 20th term will be. So if I kept going this pattern, this is the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth term, what would the 20th term be? What would the 59th term be? Oh, and I forgot to, and what would the 101st term be? Okay. So when you do that with your partner, you're going to pick 2 of these. And then the most important part is going to be, how did you know what the 20th term will be? How did you know what the 59th term will be? And how did you know what the 101st term will be? We do have, if you'd like, some hundreds charts. And so I have them right over here, and I'll leave them in the class so you can grab them. If you're somebody who picks one of these terms and you'd like some pattern blocks, Mrs. Severia has some pattern blocks down there. I have some pattern blocks there. But you know what? I don't have 101 pattern blocks. So you might be able to use some, but you won't be able to build the whole entire pattern. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come around, I'm going to give you a card, and once you get that card, you can go to that place. So I've got 7 over here, 2 over here, 3 over here, 4 at the back, 6 at the back.
Students work cooperatively in groups of 2 or 3 to solve a problem.
1, 7, and we already know this one.
4.
No, oh yeah, 4, 4, 4.
4.
If we know the second one.
Often, students are encouraged to use visual representations such as manipulatives and models to share their thinking and strategies. Approximately 15 to 25 minutes should be allocated to this portion of the lesson. Action tasks provide opportunities for teachers to listen and observe students as they work to solve a problem, provide support through the use of strategic questions to provoke thinking, clarify misconceptions and common errors, and encourage students to clearly represent their thinking. Action tasks provide opportunities for students to work cooperatively with a partner or in a small group to solve a problem, use creative and critical thinking and reasoning skills, develop, use, and share strategies to solve a problem, represent their thinking, reflect on and monitor their own learning, and develop perseverance to solve a problem.
Before beginning the action task, the concept of a core in a repeating pattern was reviewed through a 20-second video. In this action task, students were asked to predict later terms in any 2 of the 4 repeating patterns provided, relating their predictions to the core of the pattern. 4 patterns were provided, as research shows that choice increases student interest. No matter which 2 patterns students chose, they would have used similar ideas about predicting, describing, and interpreting patterns. Patterns A and B were numeric and were somewhat simple. Patterns C and D were geometric and were translated to pattern blocks to provide students with opportunities for hands-on manipulation of pattern blocks. The differentiating instruction notes were used to simplify the task instructions, asking students for the 20th term rather than the 29th term. To save on time, the second portion of the action task was skipped by toggling it off. This action task was concluded after 25 minutes, even though not all students had finished making predictions for both of the patterns they chose. As long as students had the opportunity to investigate one pattern, they were able to participate in the consolidation portion of the lesson.
So what we did for pattern C is since we only had a 5-number core, we did 10 times 10, which would automatically equal 100, right? So then once we finished that, we added 1, which made us end on this for 101. So then
4, 5, 8, 4, 5, 8, 4, 5, 8, 4, 5, 8, 4, 5, 8, 4, 5, 8, 4, 5, and this is the 20th term, and it landed on 5. So the 20th term is 5.